Hello everybody, thanks to the North Tyneside Ukulele Festival. I'm Donna at Stop Ukulisten and I'm going to run you through some beginners hints and tips. So if you've got one of these things, a ukulele, you could be playing in about half an hour, and hopefully with a little bit of practice and about 3 or 4 chords, you can be playing lots and lots of songs and really join the ukulele community here in the Northeast. So I'm going to run you through what this is, what are the different terms, and then we'll crack on with talking about how to play it. This is a ukulele, it's got 4 strings, 4 fingers, 4 strings, that's my motto. And you have the sound hole, so this is where the sound comes out of. This is the body of the ukulele. This is called a bridge. The neck is called the fretboard. This would be your 1st fret, 2nd fret, 3rd fret, 4th fret, and so on and so forth. When you're a beginner, you only have to worry about the first 3 or 4 frets, so don't worry about this end, just this end, okay? This is your headstock. And your nut, which stops the strings, that holds the strings in place. And tuners, these are important. You've got to tune your ukulele, okay? That has to be in tune, otherwise you can be the best player in the world and you'll still sound rubbish, okay? So your ukulele is tuned G, C, E, A. From the top, the one nearest the ceiling is your G string, C string, E string, A string. Those are the only 4 notes you need to know as a beginner, and that's to tune it in. And to tune it in, you can use one of these things. These are electronic tuners. They're about £5 from Amazon. Well worth buying if you want to stick with it. And what you do is you pluck the string and then you turn the tuners one way or the other to stretch or slacken the string till you get in tune. So I'm a little bit out of tune. The C's in, E's in, A's in, okay? You don't need one of these though if you've got a mobile phone and you can access apps. There are lots of free ukulele tuner apps online, and you get one and it shows you a picture. And when you pluck a string, a little dial will go into the green. They take a little bit of getting used to, but it's well worth trying and it costs you nothing. So definitely have a look at that if you don't want to buy a tuner straight off the bat. Okay, what we're going to do is you're going to learn talk about strumming and learn 3 chords that'll get you up and running, okay? But first of all, let's talk about how you hold your uke. To hold your uke, you want to be sat up straight and comfortable in a chair or with a back straight. You want the ukulele flat to your chest. Okay, flat to your chest, tucked into your elbow a little ways, okay? So when you're strumming, you've got free movement, mostly of the wrist. It doesn't have to be like a massive big movement, not like a guitar. We're just going to be moving with a little bit of the elbow, mostly the wrist, okay? You want to make a hand puppet with your hand, and that's going to eat your uke. So you're going to chomp, 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 eat your uke. Make sure that thumb is behind the fretboard. You need that for strength and grip and to hold your ukulele. So that thumb should be behind the fretboard and your fingers can be on top. Okay, it's about a 30-degree angle if that's comfortable for you. And you just hold it like that. And so when you strum, you should be strumming around this area where the fretboard and the neck meets the body of the ukulele. So around here, not so much down here, around here. I have a strap I put on my ukulele because I like to put a strap on when I'm standing especially, but you don't need a strap, okay? You should be able to hold it and change chords quite comfortably. Now I must say at this point, there is no right or wrong way to play the ukulele. It depends on what you like and what you enjoy. If you find it comfortable to do something else, do that. As long as it sounds good, you're getting clean chord sounds out of it and it doesn't hurt, that's the way to do it. That's all up to you. But these are just hints and tips as to how you can possibly start with some good practice and what might come easy to you, okay? Right, strumming. Let's talk about strumming because we're going to strum if I'm right-handed, so I'm strumming with my right hand, making chord shapes with my left. What I suggest to my students is that they make a gun shape, like an old-fashioned cops and robbers gun shape with their hand, and you can see the thumb is pointing up to the ceiling, my finger is straight out, and these 3 fingers are tucked away neatly, okay, bang, bang, bang. And what I tell my students to do is go and relax. And you can see them visibly relax. And when you do that, what you find is your thumb isn't sticking upright like that, rigid. It sort of relaxes, but it's still out the way. Your finger sort of bends round a little bit and relaxes, but it's still sticking out a little ways, but it bends out. It's not like stiff or uncomfortable. And the other 3 fingers are still tucked away, out of the way, okay? So you gun, relaxed, okay? So when we strum, what we do, a down strum is what it's called, is you hit all of the strings from the top to the bottom to the floor, one swift motion with the back of your nail. You want to do this. Quite nice and loud. You don't have to hit it really hard to get quite a loud sound out of it. So you're hitting all of the strings with the back of your nail. That is a down strum. So if I was to count it in and keep a beat, I'd go 1, 2, 3, 4, down, 2, 3, 4, down, 2, 3, 4, and stop. And of course you can stop and do that as many times, pause here and do that as many times as you want till you get the hang of it, okay? Now of course when you go down, you have to come back up to do another down. That makes sense. You go down, you've got to come up to go down. So what you can do is you can add up strums. And to add up strums, you use the fleshy part of your finger. You keep the same hand shape, but you just use the fleshy part of the finger to just catch the strings. Up strums are usually a bit more quiet, a bit more softer than down strums, and you just have to catch the bottom few strings on your way up. So if I was to do down up strums, it would sound like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, or 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay? So again, pause here, just have a go of up and down, up and down. Notice I'm not doing anything with this hand yet, I'm just holding my uke up, no chords, okay? So all of the strumming patterns that you'll hear on songs are basically made up of variations of the down and the ups. So once you get the hang of that, that's great. When you're learning a song, and I still do this even when I'm learning a song, is I will just do the down strums till I get the hang of the timing, okay? So let's talk about timing. When do you do down strums? Well, you've seen I've counted to beats of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's for a 4/4 songs. Most songs are in 4/4 time, okay? So if I was to do You Are My Sunshine, which is the first song I ever learned on ukulele, and I teach my students that first, is if I was to put the uke down and just ask you to clap, we're going to keep the beat of the song, okay? So if I sing a little bit of it, it goes, you are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are grey. Okay? Just a couple of lines. Now you see, if you are tapping your foot or clapping along to that or clicking your fingers, that is the beat of the song. So whenever you would normally clap, instead, when you do your ukulele, you do a down strum. So if I was to play just a couple of chords for that, don't worry about the chords for now, but I just want to hear the timing, okay? So if I do exactly the same, I go, you are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are grey. And you can start to see the building blocks of the songs. It sounds great with just down strums, okay? But you can then add other patterns to it and make it really flesh out. But when you're starting as a beginner, just do down strums, okay? So that's strumming. How to hold, how to strum. The last thing I want to do is quickly run through 3 chords, and then you can be off on your own and learning thousands and thousands of songs with these 3 chords. The one chord we're going to learn first is a 1-finger chord. It's the C chord, the first one everybody learns. And I want you to use this finger, your ring finger, if you can. It makes things easier if you can use the fingers I suggest for later chord changes, okay? It's no set rule. If you want to use a different finger, use a different finger, but I'm suggesting you use this one because it might help you later on. So ring finger. You put your ring finger on the 3rd fret, 1, 2, 3, 3rd fret of the A string, which is the bottom string, and that there is a C chord. Pause here and just have a strum of a C chord, okay? But we're swiftly moving on to an F chord. Now I want you to use these 2 fingers, your first and your middle finger, for an F chord, okay? Now you can get diagrams to go with this video happily, and there's lots of diagrams on the internet. So I'll show you with my fingers, but if you need to have a closer look or a look on the internet, please do. First finger goes on the 1st fret of your A string, which is the 2nd from the floor. It's that one there, 1st fret. Ring finger stretches over all of the other strings and goes on the 2nd fret of the G string, which is your top string. So your F is that. Now, if I hold my ukulele like this is important for beginners, okay? That is how you come in on the strings. You come in on top of the strings. Try and get the tops of your fingers, where it's going to go hard and calloused, on top of the strings, okay, and not touch any of the other strings. How you check you're not touching any of the other strings is you pluck each string in turn. If you're getting a sound like this, you're touching other strings, okay? You need to come in on top of the strings. That comes with practice. That is the difficulty, okay? That's practice. But you do get there. Muscle memory kicks in and you will start doing that automatically. So just practice, 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 okay? So we've got C, we've got F. Well, last one is a 3-finger chord, G7. We're going to use these 3 fingers, okay? We're going to make a triangle with these 3 fingers. So your first finger goes on the 1st fret of the E string where it's just been for your F, okay? Your middle finger stretches over to the 2nd fret of your C string, so that's the C string there. That's the 3rd one from the bottom. Then your ring finger has to tuck in under that middle finger and go on the 2nd fret of your A string. So the A string's the one nearest to the floor, the bottom one. Okay, and you can see I'm making a triangle. Now if you come to make that chord straight from underneath, you might find it difficult to fit all your fingers in. I know what I do. So what I learned about having this thumb behind me fretboard is I can swivel. I can stick my elbow out and swivel, come in from the side of the ukulele this way, and I've got a bit more room for those fingers, okay? That works for me. If it works for you, great. If it doesn't, you try and find some way of managing to make that shape as easy as you can for yourself, okay? So that there is a G7. That one takes a bit of practice. That one's what most people find a bit difficult at the very beginning, okay? But it's a really good chord to learn. And those 3 chords together are the recipe for thousands and thousands of songs, okay? Of which You Are My Sunshine is one of them. So the skill then becomes changing between them, okay? You have to learn and practice changing between them. I'm not going to go over that because you can learn that with a song and concentrate on a song, and that just comes with sitting in time and practice. But what I recommended to my students is that you do 8 beats of a C and practice changing to an F. So that would sound something like this. I'd count them in. 1, 2, 3, 4, C, 2, 3, 4, C, 2, 3, 4, to an F, 2, 3, 4, F, 2, 3, to a C, 2, 3, 4, C, 2, 3, 4, F, 2, 3, and so on and so forth, okay? And you would do the same with the G7. C, 2, 3, 4, C, 2, 3, 4, G7, 2, 3, 4, G7, 2, 3, and a C, okay? Now that just takes time and practice, so I'll let you get on with that yourself. You can practice either in a song or just as an exercise. I recommend both because exercises can be boring. They're very good, but very boring. But songs can be, if you're not getting it quite right with the songs, you might need to do exercises. But put them in songs, it'll help. Now, you may have noticed that when I'm changing chords, here's a tip for you. When I'm changing chords, I'm not going C, 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 F, oh, F, F is here, F, F, to G7, oh, G7 is here. Don't take your fingers away from the fretboard. You want to leave your fingers on or as near to the fretboard as you can. That'll help with speed and accuracy. As soon as you take your fingers away or you have to do anything quite fancy, it can really mess up your chord changes and slow you down. So hint from me is to leave your fingers on when you're changing from the C to the G7. Leave that finger on, slide it up, whack your other fingers on. Again, when you're going from G7 to C, take your fingers off, slide down. Keep your fingers on as close to the fretboard as you can. Okay, well I think that's all the tools you need as a beginner to really start. Have a look at You Are My Sunshine, play that, as I say, pick a song that you enjoy and persevere with it. It's about practice and perseverance and above all, having fun. So I really hope you found this useful. Please carry on with it, join the ukulele community here in the Northeast and you'll have a fantastic time playing for yourself or in a group. So thank you very much for your time. I hope you've enjoyed that. I'm Donna. Take care and happy strumming.